Hello students, today let us see the modern periodic table. Now modern periodic table was given by the English scientist Henry Moseley in the year 1913 AD. Now here he considered atomic number as the most important fundamental property of an element because of the discovery of electrons was done afterwards, and so due to that, instead of atomic mass, atomic number was considered as the fundamental property of an element. So the modern periodic law states that properties of elements are periodic function of their atomic numbers. Now what is the difference between atomic mass number and atomic number? Atomic mass number is the addition of protons and neutrons present in the nucleus, while atomic number is the number of the electrons or the number of the protons present in an atom. Okay. Now let us see what is the structure of an modern periodic table. A modern periodic table consists of 7 horizontal rows. They are called as periods, and there are 18 vertical columns. Those are called as groups. Total there are 118 boxes, and up till now the 118 elements are filled in that modern periodic table. Okay, now let us see the structure of modern periodic table. Now it has 18 groups, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on till 18, and there are this is first period, second period, then third, then fourth, fifth, sixth and seventh. These are the 7 periods. Now the first period consists of hydrogen and helium, means there are only 2 elements in the first period. Second period consists of lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon. In this way the second period is identified. Okay. Now hydrogen is placed in the first group as well as the first period. First position is given to hydrogen. Okay, then 18th group is about the inert gases, or it is also called as the zero group elements or the noble gases, that is helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon and radon. Now these 2 series which are at the bottom of the periodic table, actually they are placed here. Those are called as lanthanide and actinide series. Here is lanthanide, and this is the place of lanthanide series, and this is the place of actinide series. Okay. Now how is the element identified? For example, let us consider copper, where the symbol is Cu. Above it the atomic number is written. 29 is the atomic number of copper, and below the symbol 63.546, this is the atomic weight or atomic mass of the element. Now in this periodic table, this bold letter Be, this is identified as solid, which is written in the bold letter and black color. Then little purple color is liquid. Then in the italic sign it is gas, and the pink color is synthetic, and this symbol is of radioactive elements. For example, here these are all radioactive elements in the periodic table. Okay. Now the 3 elements which are broadly classified in the periodic table are metals, non-metals and metalloids. Now metalloids are placed on the zigzag line of the periodic table. This zigzag line of the periodic table separates metals and non-metals. On the left side all are metals, and on the right side all are non-metals. If you see your periodic table in the textbook, this is the zigzag line. Okay, this zigzag line has 6 metalloids. These 6 metalloids separate metals and non-metals. On the left side, all these are metals, and on the right side, all are non-metals. Okay. Now, let us see some more information related to periodic table. There are 4 blocks in a periodic table. They are named as S, P, D and F. S block, P block, D block and F block. The group first and second is of S block. S block elements are also called as alkali metals. Group number from 13 to 18 is called as P block. These elements are called as alkaline earth metals. Then D block is from group 3 to 12. They are also called as transition elements. And the F block consists of lanthanides and actinide series, which are placed at the bottom of the periodic table. They are called as inner transition elements. Now see, which are the metalloids? Boron, silicon, germanium, polonium, tellurium and arsenic. These are the metalloids in the periodic table. Okay. Now let us see the electronic configuration of the elements in the periodic table. If we take group 1, which are the elements in group 1? They are, we are considering group 1, hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, calcium and francium. These are the elements in the first group. Okay. Now hydrogen atomic number 1, lithium atomic number 3, sodium atomic number 11, potassium atomic number 19, rubidium atomic number 37, calcium atomic number 55 and francium atomic number 87. Now how is the electronic configuration? See the number of shells. Hydrogen, only one shell, one electron in the first shell. Lithium, electronic configuration, as the atomic number is 3, so 2, 1. That means it has 2 shells. Sodium, atomic number 11, so 2, 8, 1. That means it has 3 shells. Potassium, atomic number 19, electronic configuration 2, 8, 8, 1. Then in the same way, 4 shells. Rubidium will have 5 shells. Calcium will have 6 shells. And francium will have 7 shells. Or we can call them also as orbits. That means if we'll see down the group, the number of shells go on increasing. Hydrogen has 1, lithium 2, sodium 3, then 4, then 5, 6 and 7. That means the number of shells go on increasing. This is down the group. Correct? So due to that, the atomic size goes on increasing. Okay? Because what is atomic size? It is the distance between the nucleus to the outermost shell. That is atomic radius. Atomic radius is what? The distance between the center of the atom to the outermost shell or outermost orbit. So as the number of shells go on increasing, that means atomic radius also goes on increasing, As the atomic radius goes on increasing, atomic size will also go on increasing. Correct? Now let us see in case of periods. What happens in case of period? There are total 7 periods. Now which are the elements in the first period? It is hydrogen, atomic number 1, and helium, atomic number 2. So how is the electronic configuration? It will have one shell. Helium also will have one shell, because only 2 electrons. Then second period, it is lithium, atomic number 3, beryllium, atomic number 4, boron, atomic number 5, carbon, atomic number 6, nitrogen, atomic number 7, oxygen, atomic number 8, fluorine, atomic number 9, and neon, atomic number 10. Now how is the electronic configuration? Lithium 2,1, beryllium 2,2, boron 2,3. How the 6 electrons in carbon are distributed? 2,4. First shell 2 electrons, 4 electrons in the second shell. Nitrogen 2,5, oxygen 2,6, fluorine 2,7, and neon 2,8. That means if we'll see the number of shells of the elements along a period, they are 2,1, that means 2 shells, here 2 shells, 2 shells, 2 shells, 2 shells, and so on. That means every element has 2 shells. So the period number also indicates the number of shells. In the same way, if we'll see third period starts with sodium, then magnesium, sodium atomic number 11, magnesium atomic number 12, then aluminium atomic number 13, then next is silicon atomic number 14, next phosphorus atomic number 15, sulfur atomic number 16, chlorine atomic number 17, and argon atomic number 18. Now see how are the electrons distributed, or what is the electronic configuration. In this case, atomic number 11, 2, 8, 1. In this way the electrons will be distributed in the shells. Magnesium 2, 8, 2, aluminium 2, 8, 3, silicon 2, 8, 4, phosphorus 2, 8, 5, sulfur 2, 8, 6, chlorine 2, 8, 7, and argon 2, 8, 8. So if we'll see along a period, the number of electron in the outermost shell go on increasing by 1. In the next successive element, the number of electrons only in the outermost shell go on increasing by 1. Correct? And the period number indicates the number of shells. If you see the first period, the elements have 1 shell. Second period, all the elements have 2 shells. Third period, all the elements have 3 shells. In the same way, fourth period, all elements will have 4 shells. Fifth period, 5 shells. Sixth period, 6 shells or the orbits. And seventh period, they will have 7 shells or the orbits. So what is the property here? The period number indicates the number of shells. Okay, correct, understood? And the group number indicates the number of elements in the outermost shell. That means group 1 will have one electron in the outermost shell. Group 2 elements will have 2 electrons in the outermost shell. Group 3 will have 3 electrons in the outermost shell, and in the same way it will continue. Correct? Okay, this is about the electronic configuration regarding the elements in the group and the period. Side by side, go through the explanation given in the textbook, read it line by line, and if we have any doubts, if you have not understood any part, ask me on the group. Okay, thank you.